Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Now, with the Leh riding season shortly going to open up, I thought I'll share with you some experience on the route that can be taken, and I'll also give you some tips. Now, I know for a fact that the riding season is very soon going to open up, and I thought I'll share some experience with you. Also, give you some tips which will help your riding experience better. Right? I've drawn a map here. Now, also one other thing is that people who are riding, people from South India who plan to ride to Ladakh, I would suggest that they do start the ride from Chandigarh, right? It would be around June or July is the season when you guys will start riding, and June would be very hot in Delhi, right? It can go up anywhere from 45 to 50 degrees. So I would suggest it's better to start from Chandigarh. And also, this route that I've drawn is mostly for guys who want to do it for the first time, right? Not much of experience on this Leh roads. But I'll also give you a couple of other routes for the experienced riders too, right? I've done this 13 times, and every time I've done different routes. This is only one route that I'm showing, but I've done multiple routes around Ladakh. Now, I thought let me go with the most easiest one to start with, right? Hope you guys can see this map. So, like I mentioned, if you can start from Chandigarh, guys who are doing it from South India can look at parceling their bikes till Chandigarh on the train. It's pretty safe. I can give you details as to how you can do that and start from Chandigarh. So your route from Chandigarh will still be hot, right? But the only advantage is 6 hours drive from Chandigarh, you get into the mountains and it's going to be fine, right? So the next stop would be, this is around 250 to 280 odd kilometers from Chandigarh to Manali. So you reach Manali. Manali would be your first stop, right? A lot of places to stay around Manali. The new Manali is filled up. I don't think so you guys will like it because it's pretty crowded. Look at staying in old Manali, or you can look at staying in a place called Raiden. This is a very nice place for for riders, especially the bikers. And this has been owned by Godwin and Sneha, who actually, they themselves are bikers, and they have built up a very nice place. Look at this. This place is very good. You can search on the net, you will get that. A first stop would be Manali, and then you would go through the first pass. Let me tell you, there are 5 passes along this Manali to Leh route, right? First pass you want to get is Rohtang Pass. Once upon a time, it was very bad, but now they've laid up the roads, so it should be fine. No issues passing through this. This is where you will see, first glimpse of snow, right? There are a lot of people who come here just for, honeymoon trips, or like families come in here, but they end it up here, right? They play around with the snow and then they leave, right? Ride actually starts after this, right? After Rohtang, you reach a place called Koksar. This is the first point where a kind of a checkpost. Will have to give the documents of the bike and then make an entry, then go on. Once you move from here, we get a place called Tandi. Very important place. Keep this in mind because here's what would be a petrol bunk, and after this 375 kilometers you'll not have a petrol bunk. So I would suggest that you guys fill your petrol, and also there are a couple of shops here which sells these jerry cans. You can pick up a couple of them. I would suggest one or two and then fill up the jerry cans also and start your travel. because you're not going to get a petrol bunk after that, right? Now, after this, you reach a place called Kelong. Kelong is a beautiful place. One other thing, there is also two to three, Royal Enfield mechanics who are there. Pretty good guys. And in case if you have to just check your vehicle, do some servicing, this is where you can do Kelong, right? And after Kelong, the first stop being Manali, you travel to Rohtang, Kelong, and Jaspa. I would suggest that you guys can stop in Jaspa. Jaspa is a beautiful valley, a beautiful place, and there are a lot of accommodation in and around Jaspa. One place which is very, very, favorable for bikers is Padma Lodge. The person called Lopi, you can contact him, is very, very good. There are a lot of events which happens in Padma Lodge. There are a lot of biking gatherings which happen. So that's just, that will be your first stop. Then you move on to a place called Darcha. There is one of the checkposts there. And the second, the pass that you'll be entering would be Barlachala. Barlachala is a great pass, a lot of snow, that you would encounter here, but I will never know because nature changes, right? You'll never know, but I have always encountered a lot of snow here, right? And then you move on to a place called Sarchu. Sarchu is where, Himachal ends and Jammu and Kashmir starts. Again, you will get a checkpost there where you'll have to give your documents. Sarchu, I would suggest not staying in this place. These are very high altitude places. It's also called the vomiting alley of India, right? So I would suggest not to stay there until unless you don't have any other option. But there are a lot of options to stay here, be it tents and houses and things like that. Then after that you move on to a very nice place. This is Gata Loops. Gata Loops is very, very famous. There's 21 loops here, and it takes up to Nakila Pass. A brilliant stretch, right? This is. I go to the third pass, which is Nakila, and then you reach Pang. The stretch, from Gata to Pang, this stretch is a very, very difficult stretch, very bad roads, and I'm not sure this year if they would have done something, but then little bad stretch that you get here, and then you reach Pang. Pang is also, in the range of 15,000 and above sea level, so not suggested to stay there, but if there's no option, you will have to stay there. There are a lot of tents there, right? And then up Pang, you get Moor Plains. Moor Plains is a 45 kilometers desert at 15,000 feet above sea level. This was once upon a time literally a desert where we had to slide through the sand. But then now, very bad thing was that they've laid the tar roads here. 45 kilometers would take you around approximately around 25 to 30 minutes, and not a problem there. Then you reach up to a place, next pass, which would be Tanglangla. Tanglangla is the second highest motorable pass in the world. So not that difficult, should be fine. Again, depends on nature. If the condition is not that good, maybe you might have trouble there, right? Otherwise, usually it should be fine. And then you reach Rumse. Once you cross Tanglangla, it's as good as that. You get, beautiful roads. There's no issues. You reach a place called Rumse. You again have a checkpost here. Check in, give your documents, and go through. No issues there. And you reach a place called Upshi and Karu. This is where you will get your petrol bunk. So that's where I was saying, fill up your petrol in Tandi so that you reach up till, Upshi or Karu. That's where the next petrol bunk is. And then you reach Leh. Very close, maybe around 50 kilometers from here would be Leh, and you reach Leh. So I was suggesting first after Chandigarh would be Manali to Jaspa, and if possible, you go all the way to Leh, it would be around 150 odd. It should be around closer to around 250 to 275 kilometers from here till Jaspa till Leh, right? So this is the route that you can take. This route comes with multiple water crossing, but then not that difficult as such. It still will be possible. Once upon a time, these routes were not really done, and it was a very difficult stretch, right? For guys who are doing it for the first time, I would suggest this route. This is shouldn't be a problem at all, because all the way through you have service centers, not many service centers you not require, but then places at least to live, eat, and there are people in and around there, so shouldn't be a problem. So our target is Leh, so we reach Leh. Now going back, now you can either take the same route back to Manali and then stay over in Manali and go to Chandigarh, or you can always look at, that's what I do, I don't want to go the same route back again. You can go through Srinagar, and that's also a pretty decent route. From Leh, you go the other way, reach Kargil, you get a Fotula pass, brilliant pass. This is the highest pass between Leh and Srinagar route. That's Fotula pass, and then you reach Kargil, right? There are a lot of places in and around Kargil that you can visit around, right? Kargil, you have Vijay War Memorial that you can visit. That was a memorial that was built after Kargil War. As a brilliant place, must go, right? And you reach a place called Dras. Dras, again, this is mostly where our military are stationed in, right? And then you can stay in Kargil, yeah, between Leh and Srinagar road. Your first stop would be Kargil. There's enough and more places that you can stay in Kargil. So from Kargil, you'll go to Dras and then Srinagar. Srinagar, there are a lot of options, be it boat houses, right? In Dal Lake, Nagin Lake, or there are a lot of places, other hotel lodging that you can, take it up. Now from Srinagar, you go through this route, that's Srinagar Jammu route, right? You go through that route and you reach a place called Patni Top, where I would feel you can stay in Patni Top. The next stop would be Patni Top or Udhampur, right? This is one place that you can stop. That will be the second stop in this road. And there is a road which is going to Jammu, right, from here. But this is a deviation route which reaches to Pathankot from Udhampur. It happens in Udhampur. If you have to go straight, you'll go to Jammu. Still, you can catch up on this road. But then there is a deviation that you can take and reach Pathankot. And Pathankot to Chandigarh. So that would be our route. This is the route that I would suggest any new person, anyone who is not that experienced, to take this route. But I know for a fact there are the other multiple routes that you can take depending, the kind of adventure that you would require. This still has got adventure. There are a lot of places in and around that you can see. Now, once you reach Leh, you can go to Pangong Lake, right? Now, Leh to 45 kilometers up is Kardungla. And below you can still come to Nubra Valley, and then go to a place called Turtuk. You can do a lot of things, and there's also a route through Shayok reaching Pangong. Shayok, right? And in this route near Kargil, you can take a deviation and come back. You can visit Aryan villages, right? There are 3 villages in this route, Dahanu, and there's one more, I don't remember the name. So that's what you can do in this route, right? So multiple options that you have to take. You can go through, right? This one of the routes. I mean, Manali to Leh. So again, sorry, Chandigarh to Leh and Chandigarh to again Leh through Srinagar route. Two routes. There are multiple other routes that you can take, but I would suggest for a novice to take this route. If you're still experienced, you want to have more adventure, you can go through Shimla route. If you want a little more thrill, you can take the Sach Pass route, right? So any questions? This bases my experience of last 13 years. I've been doing these routes, not just these routes. I've taken all the other different routes across Ladakh, and every time I do the same thing, a lot of people keep asking me that why do you do Ladakh again and again, right? But then I really can't explain. You will have to feel it. It keeps pulling me. Last year I could not do this because you guys know, because of COVID. But then I am super thrilled to do this year. I hope many of you are looking forward to it. And if you guys have any questions, any clarification, do drop in your comments and I'll be more than happy to respond back to you. Okay, I think that's it for today's video. Cheers guys, happy riding.